Welcome to the Husky Barbu podcast. It's a sci-fi podcast, meaning that it's about nothing in particular.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Husky Barbu. This is your said Husky Barbu, Ariel Duran, and I'm hoping that you guys are well, that this week has been productive, and that your lives have gone to a territory close to what you may consider or feel comfortable calling normal, or where you feel that you feel well. The thing is, general good feelings for everyone that is listening, and for those that are not listening as well, because that would mean the rest of the world. And so I'm gonna start right away with some somber news. We record these on Fridays, and they're released on Saturday mornings, which I'm really questioning my logic there, but nonetheless, be that as it may, that is the process so far for reasons I will not get into. But we have to start with the sad news of today that by the time recording, as I said, Friday, late last night on Thursday night, the legendary DC Comics writer Denny O'Neil passed away at the age of 81, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. For those of you who are not initiated into the comic book world, Denny O'Neil is the man that single-handedly resurrected Batman in the 1970s, teaming up with Neal Adams. He had a historic run with Neal Adams. He was one of the best, or if not the best writer DC had in the 70s. And his work was some of the best, also very socially conscious. Some of the work that he did with, again, with Neal Adams, with the Green Lantern and Green Arrow comics. There's an iconic panel there that talks about Black Lives Matter. Oh, well, a few minutes into the podcast, I already touched that little subject that helped so much last week on the podcast getting some traction. In other words, it didn't help at all. My little political rant from last week was like a kiss of death because like only one person listened to the podcast, or maybe because of the bad positioning, whatever. I don't apologize for what I said, although I do think that some of the things I said was more like ramblings than anything else, not so much a coherent thought, but my intentions were in the right place in terms of what I believe. I'll keep it short and sweet on that department, and back to Mr. O'Neil. Our condolences to his family, condolences to the entire DC fan base, because he's responsible for us getting Batman back to serious mode. He did it before Frank Miller did, because Batman was a joke before. Thanks in many ways, because I don't know, maybe DC dropped the ball. I mean, he should have had popularity in the 60s due to the TV show, although the subject matter of the TV show, aka the campiness, kind of neutered Batman in terms of what he used to be. Because in the old LG comics back in the 40s and 50s, Batman was a son of a bitch. He was a hard ass. And then the 60s came in, and to comply with the TV show, they kind of neutered all of that stuff and made him more happy-go-lucky Batman, and with all the Great Scott and all the other, well, Great Scott is more like Superman phrase. Anyway, Batman kind of got a little neutered. And then Denny O'Neil came in and brought him back. Denny O'Neil and Neal Adams. The art matched the tone of what Denny was writing. And Batman became again a creature of the night, a detective, and more to the Batman that we know now. So Denny O'Neil, rest in peace, a legend in the comic book industry. And thank you for all the contributions you did for one of my favorite characters. If not, well, Batman is in my top 3. because I just can't pick one. Like, oh, he's my favorite character. It's always a revolving door, but the same core since I was a child has been these three: Superman, Batman, Spider-Man. That's it. It has not moved from there. Sometimes one or two other characters may creep in their little heads in there, but mainstays is Superman, Batman, and Spider-Man. So 2 DC, 1 Marvel. I do have love for Marvel, but I've always been more DC guy. I've always said that. I have no, I don't hide it. I say it clearly. I'm a DC guy through and through, but I love Marvel as well. I love comics in general. Anybody who has the guts to create something, I'm your fan. So again, Denny O'Neil, rest in peace. We kind of already glossed over the debacle that was last week, so let's not tread any waters there. And let's go deeper into more shit of last week, because today, as the recording day, which is the June 12th, for you guys it would be yesterday when you're listening to this, tomorrow or whenever. Well, on June 12th, Dave Chappelle, through Netflix, a Netflix account on YouTube, released a short 20-something minute special called 846. If you need me to explain the 846 reference, then you have not been alive in the past few weeks. And it was not a comedy special per se, although he did say some funny shit. It's Dave Chappelle, for God's sake. But it was more on the socially relevant issues that are going on right now. And instead of me repeating what he said, I would just ask you to watch it, because his voice is better than mine in terms of talking about these issues. I'm just a white boy. He is a black man, and he understands the subject better than me. I'm not even going to add any fucking sarcasm into that, because it's the truth. He is the best person qualified to talk about it. He might not appease all the PC warriors or the little woke people out there, but he says the truth. He says it from the heart. He is convinced of what he's saying, and I value everything he said, and I agree with him 100%. It's not so much a funny. If you think it's going to be a funny one, it's not so much on the funny side. It's more of him venting out his frustrations over what has occurred in these past few weeks. And nerves are still raw in that department. And again, I don't think I'm the right person qualified to talk about these subjects, because I'm not the person. I'm simply not the guy. So yeah, watch it. It's for free on YouTube through Netflix account. You just look it up like that, Dave Chappelle 846, and you'll get all the information there. Okay, something that happened yesterday for me, or let's just say on June 11th, was the presentation of PlayStation 5. I got to see some of it, because I'm not that big of a gamer on any platform. I mean, I don't even have a PC. I roll with a Mac. Not because I'm a Mac fanboy. It's because I was suckered into believing all the hype. I do have to say, but a good operating system of Mac, shitty computers in terms of what you can do in trying to upgrade them. There, I said my piece, and I lost a sponsor. So yeah, the PlayStation 5, I saw some of the games that they're gonna show that they showed off. The graphics. The graphics look great, awesome, good stuff. The only game that called my attention, me being a geek and a comic book fan, is one that of a character I mentioned before, Spider-Man. It's Spider-Man Miles Morales. So they explained that it's more of an expansion than a sequel to the PlayStation 4's Spider-Man, which I have yet to play. Because I don't have a PlayStation 4, I have a PlayStation 3, Why? I'm poor. That's why. I don't have any money. I don't have money to waste on that kind of stuff because that's a luxury where I come from in Dominican Republic. That is a luxury. Not that it's wrong to own one. If you have the money, go ahead. But with me being a parent, a husband, taking care of kids and have bills to pay and whatnot, the money doesn't add up that much that I can buy that. And I'm sorry to open up and touch on personal shit, but I really don't give a fuck. And I'll just say it's clearly how I feel about the subject. Not that I don't want one. I would love to have one. But if my expenses are this and what I can do with the rest of the money that I have is nothing because I have no rest of the money left, unfortunately, I cannot divulge myself into those kind of pleasures. Hopefully one day I will. And by that time, PlayStation 4 might be already disappearing. It's how the shit works. Anyway, going into what I said, yeah, good graphics. Don't ask me about the details. So, what kind of you're barking at the wrong tree. Barking at the wrong tree. I do not know what to tell you in that department. I don't know what to tell you. All I know is that the graphics look good. And I like what I saw. The design of the device itself. It looks like a ice cream sandwich in reverse. That's the best way I can describe it. You know, because the ice cream sandwich is usually, two black sides with the white ice cream filling in the middle. It looks backwards. It's like the white ice cream fillings are the buns. And well, you get the idea. So yeah, kind of weird design, but at least it's not Xbox design, because that shit looks like a fucking rectangle. It's a fucking black rectangle. So you were lazy enough just to design a fucking rectangle. I mean, I don't know if the machine is shit. I don't know. I mean, to each his own. I don't give a shit if you like Xbox or PlayStation, whatnot. To each his own. You like what you like, and you buy whatever the heck you want, and that's what makes you happy. That's what makes you happy. So purchase that, or purchase whatever. Do whatever you want. That's my philosophy. So yeah, I think that the PS5 will come out late this year. I hope I don't have, for those of you who are interested in purchasing, I hope you don't have to give up your lungs, your livers, and any other body parts in order to be able to purchase that. Maybe you can keep an eye or maybe both eyes. I mean, that way you can see the graphics. And there. That sounded very enthusiastic. As you can tell, I do not know how to pretend and say bullshit for you guys to make you like, oh wow, he's very into it. Not that much, really. No. I mean, the only thing I use my PS3 is to play WWE 2K16. And even that, I touch that like maybe once every 2 or 3 months. It's like my like a little need that goes inside my head. Like, you have to get frustrations out of your head, and so I do. Anyway, let's go jumping into another subject. As you all know, I am also a wrestling mark. I guess I still follow wrestling. And yesterday, we had the wonderful news that WWE has decided to change up the creative team and leave Bruce Pritchard in charge of both Raw and SmackDown, and remove Paul Heyman from the position of head writer from Raw. What does this mean? It means that the product will more or less suck more. Not because I have distrust in whatever Bruce Pritchard does is because that means that since Bruce is more of a yes man to Vince McMahon, that means that pretty much Bruce will yield to whatever Vince McMahon's input on what the show should be about will be heard, whereas Paul Heyman at least was kind of a voice of reason and determined to push new people, even in spite of Vince's desires. That's what we understand as wrestling marks, and that's what we've been told. If it is actually so, I don't know. I'm not there. I have no inside sources. It's what the dirt sheets report, because that's what all us marks get our, or actually smarks get our information, the dirt sheets. But in this case, the announcement is real. It's official. WWE announced it itself. So, and what I just blattered out was my 2 cents. WWE has sucked donkey balls for like over 10 years now. I think that the biggest height that they had was when a certain CM Punk was running around doing his best of the world shtick. Actually, I think that's the way you pronounce it. Yeah. That's when it was actually sufferable, watchable, whatever adjective you want to add there that is actually complimenting the product. But the product has gone through a fucking nosedive ever since. And it's no fault of the talent. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Their roster, WWE, is stacked with talented wrestlers. The problem is they are playing to the audience of one. That one is Vince McMahon. And we have reasons, and when I say we, I mean the internet wrestling community, the infamous, known, and dreaded IWC, have reasons to believe that this is all Vince's fault because a certain wrestler that worked there pretty much took his grievances out and aired them and aired the dirty laundry publicly. That was one formerly known wrestler as Dean Ambrose, now known by his indie name, Jon Moxley, who is currently the AEW World Champion. He pretty much said clearly everything that we suspected, everything that we thought, everything that we imagined Vince was, which is a petty old man that wants to mold things to his will, and he is determined to do it his way and destroy the product in the same time, thinking that he's actually doing well, where in reality the product fucking sucks. It is the reason I haven't watched Raw in I don't know how many years now. I haven't watched the full episode of Raw in I don't know how many years now. I've watched pay-per-views because generally right now the only thing that entertains me more is the matches itself, seeing the athleticism of the guys. Funny athleticism coming from a 300 plus pound guy who hasn't done a lick of athleticism in his life. Yeah, certain exceptions apply. I'll let your imagination run on that one. Anyway. I make myself laugh. Wow. So yeah, wrestling in the state of WWE, it sucks. The storylines make no fucking sense, and it's a fucking shame because they have great wrestlers there. Like for example, I like who is currently the WWE champion, which is Drew McIntyre. I really enjoy that Drew is the champion. It's well deserved. The man who's been around the world. It took a break from WWE, like a 5-year break. I think it was 4 or 5 year break. And in that time, he just collected gold everywhere he went. He is a good wrestler, and he is now on top. A lot of great wrestlers there as well. And I don't know, man. I just hope that things get better, because wrestling is like a necessity in terms of, helping you going through shit. It helped me a lot in my teens. But then again, there were more simpler times, at times that shit wasn't as sensitive and as it was back then. I'm talking about, the Attitude Era, when Stone Cold Steve Austin was running wild and having his feuds with Vince McMahon, which I would consider is some of the best things you've seen on TV. It's not that everything was gold, but it was entertaining as hell. And you were glued to it. I mean, you bought it. Hook, line, and sinker. You bought it. You bought it. Because it was fucking cool. It was awesome. Seeing a guy, is the old story. You always hear that how many of you want to punch your boss if you hate your boss? Yeah, if you have that type of relationship. If you have a guy of authority that's on top of you, that's not just breathes down your neck, you feel that you have with Stone Cold Steve Austin, you had like an avatar to release all that tension and whatnot. But they've tried to repeat the formula and whatnot, and it doesn't work because it depends on who you're working with and also how you present the product. WWE has shifted from those days where it was buck wild shit that practically anything goes, or a lighter version of ECW, the original ECW from back in the day, to kiddie programming now. Hence why the belts look like they're fucking modeled for kids, because guess what? That's the demographic now. That's it. That's the demographic now. Those are who are the shit is being pointed out to. NXT is WWE's version for, okay guys, you 30, 40-year-old guys who still stick around. This is the product for you. This is what you guys can still watch. And this was what you can enjoy. This is WWE's way of like keeping a peace offering for us old school marks. So he's like, okay, we got NXT here for you guys. This is all the stuff that you like. And with more cohesive storylines, it's not edgy, but within the boundaries of PG, we keep it to somewhat your liking. And yeah, NXT is by far the best thing WWE has. Better than Raw, better than SmackDown. NXT is the best in terms of WWE. The other side of the coin, outside of WWE, AEW is, I still enjoy. I am watching every week. And for example, FTR had a great match versus Butcher and the Blade. A good clinic in tag team wrestling. Excuse me while I drink some water. Yeah, I needed that for my throat. Anyway, so yeah, AEW, they have got a lot of good stuff there as well. And, considering things as they are, because, no crowds, no live programming and whatnot, wrestling it's making do with what they have. And that's commendable. And especially in these days when sports are like fleeting, the only real fucking sport, like, and with the outcome not determined, what I mean, that it's out there is UFC right now. And boxing is about to start again. NBA also made an announcement that it's coming back soon. So sports are coming back. But in the meantime, wrestling has been the one holding the court in terms of offering entertainment in the sports section. And it's evident because even ESPN and other markets cover what they do. So you can talk all the shit you want about wrestling, and I've talked a great deal of shit about WWE's booking or the presentation of the product, the storylines and whatnot. But you have to give them credit, them and AEW and the rest that are still going on, like Impact. I'll even mention Impact. They can breathe now. Because a Mark from DR mentioned Impact. Wow. We made it, boys. We made it. That's what they may be saying to themselves. All the shit we gone through is worth it now. Because a Mark from Dominican Republic recognized us that we're doing something. I'm being sarcastic, folks. Anyway. So yeah. What I was trying to say in all that rambling is that wrestling has been occupying the place of bringing entertainment to the masses in these days where there is nothing, little to nothing to entertain you. So be thankful for that. Be thankful for them being around. Be thankful that they are still there, putting it down, giving us what we need, which is entertainment. So thanks, WWE. Stop the shitting booking. Vince, let someone handle someone else. Let go of the creative shit and stick to business side, because that's where you're really good at right nowadays. You're an excellent businessman. Excellent. Shrewd, intelligent, cunning. All the compliments in the world in terms of the business side of things. You know what you're doing in terms of business. In the creative department, you lost it a long ass fucking time ago. Let it go. Leave it to Triple H or someone else to handle that, and let them handle the creative side of things, and you just stick to administrating the business side of things, because that is your forte, and that's where you really are extremely good. I don't think anybody in the company can fill in those shoes like you, because that's where you're really a genius at. So there, I gave Vince McMahon a compliment like he needed it from a total stranger in a Mark. So yeah, I wasn't gonna talk about this, but I'm gonna. I'll just add it there. Fuck it. I mean, I already fucked up anyways as much as I did last week, so let's just go there. This fucking thing is pissing me off. Like, for example, and it's pissing me off not because I'm like, I can't stand it anymore, I'm breaking shit here, things are flying, I'm throwing shit. No, it's just, the world is really fucked up right now. It's fucked up as it is. I don't have to go through the sad song of everything that's going on. You and I are living through it. So let's not even tread those waters again. Let us not remind ourselves in the shithole that we are right now. But in the middle of this situation, for you to be this fucking thing, like, for example, the J.K. Rowling shit for her transgender remarks, I'm like, oh my God. So we are in a world right now where having an opinion, whether it's the opinion that appeases the masses or not, is now considered career suicide, to the point that I actually saw a fucking article that is requesting Warner Brothers to remove J.K. Rowling from any future involvement in the Harry Potter shit. I'm like, newsflash, you fucking idiots. She created Harry Potter. She made Harry Potter. She made the whole fucking thing. Not only that, she is writing the Fantastic Beasts series for Warner Brothers as well. So you want to keep your fucking property, keep it woke, quote unquote, but remove the creator because the creator is not woke enough for you. Let me be fucking blunt and clear when I say this. Go fuck yourself. That is the most stupid request I've ever heard in my life. That is goddamn fucking stupid. It's the same shit Well, not exactly the same shit. That happened to fucking George Lucas. Not exactly the same shit. But he was basically bullied out of his own creation just because fucking fucktards were bitching about this is not my Star Wars, and everything he did was just wrong, and just shit on him for all eternity. And it was like, and when they even asked him before, sometime before he made the deal with Disney and sold Star Wars off to Disney, they asked him, are you planning to doing any more Star Wars films? He was like, well, I have ideas, but what the fuck am I gonna do it for? They're just gonna shit on me. Paraphrasing, of course, he didn't say it exactly like that. I'm paraphrasing, but he's right. He was right. Why the fuck would he go through that ordeal of submitting himself to that fucking torture if the fans was just gonna shit on him, whatever he did? And so he just was like, fuck it. Give me $4 billion, and I'm out of here. I'm outie. Peace. Go fuck yourself, you little fucking shit tarts. Like, the man created something. If you could, and I speak as a person that I'm not even in the same fucking universe or reality or alternate reality, whatever the fuck you want to call it, as George Lucas. He created one of the greatest properties around of all time in Star Wars. But as a person that creates, as myself, I draw a little and trying to make my own comic as well, my own story. As a person that is into the creative stuff, I appreciate that he was doing what he wanted. Was it everything that we wanted? Was it good at the end when he was administrating it, doing aka the prequels? Questionable, but at the end of the day, it was determined, and you can tell that it was practically made for kids. Going back to what I was hearkening to WWE. It was made for kids. So the kids were in mind. Not fucking the 70-year-old, not the kids that have been watching it since the first Star Wars movie that came out in 1977. So calm the fuck down with your fucking opinions. It's not that you're not entitled to have an opinion. It's not that you're not entitled to feel or think whatever you want. But when it comes to going back now to J.K. Rowling, she just stated that she believes that biological women are real women and not the transgender woman. It's a very touchy subject, and you can feel whatever the hell you want to feel about it, but that was her opinion. But nowadays, we are so anti-tolerance, because you want to talk about tolerance. By you rejecting her opinion, that's not fucking tolerance. You just have to accept that certain people do not agree exactly 100% with your point of view. Please accept that. If you don't accept that, then you're not being tolerant. Because that is the antithesis of being tolerant. That's being intolerable. You're not tolerating people because you just want, no, it's like this and that's it. So she can't have an opinion? I mean, you can't even go to the science route. You cannot even the actual religion of the 21st century, science, and you cannot go there. You can't use it. You can't use science to defend abortion or disprove abortion in terms of whether is that a human being or not. You can't use science. You can't. Although if you go there, you're going to find the ugly fucking truth that, guess what? That fetus, it is a human being. Oh my God, you're anti-abortion. Look, I'm going to say this as clearly as I can possibly say it. Do whatever the fuck you want. You don't need others' opinions to validate your way of life. If you feel like living a certain way, by the grace of God, the universe, the devil, the Antichrist, whatever the fuck altar you worship, fucking do it. Do it. You don't need my approval. You don't need anyone's approval. Do whatever the fuck you want. But when you try to impose your view on others, whether you're right or wrong, you're being a fucking asshole. And that applies on both ends. I am not prohibiting shit to people, because when you prohibit shit, that's when you get aggressive. That's when you get like, well, why can't I do it? Why? And you start questioning shit. And that's when you become aggressive. I'm more of a live and let live. If you want to do that shit, go ahead. Live your life. I'm not trying to forbid anybody live their fucking lives. Because when you start obligating people to do shit, guess what? That's when shit goes sour. So I'm an advocate of trying to be a peacekeeper in terms of letting people do whatever the fuck they want. But once you start imposing shit to the point that you're requesting to cancel people just because they don't see your point of view, some cancellations do apply, like racist shit or molestation or raping somebody. But I believe in due process though. So, like, you know, the whole innocent till proven guilty, and emphasis on that word proven. Not just because, this guy says that he fucking slept with 20 girls. Do we have proof of that? No. Do others testify of that individual living that type of life? Let's ask some of the victims. No, that's bullshit. Well, then just because this person said it, let's cancel them. What case am I talking about? Chris Hardwick. They fucking threw him all under the bus for shit he didn't do. It was just one person's opinion, and the fucking world turned its back on him. And then it took, thank God, of him having evidence on his phone that that old girlfriend was straight up bullshitting, and he was able to get his job back. And he was able to get some of his life back. But there's still people that want to fucking cancel him. I am so fucking done with cancel culture and these type of woke ass bitches. I'm not saying every person that is woke is wrong, but the ones that insist so much that they want to just cancel everybody just because they don't have the same opinion as them, go fuck yourself. Because that is not the right way to cancel people just because they have an opinion. Everybody will have an opinion that will be contrary to yours. It's being called being an individual. I'm not going to kiss everyone's ass and trying to be whatever the fuck you want me to be. I'm going to be me, and I'm going to have my own opinions, may right or wrong, but I'm going to have them. If then I'm educated myself and see things a certain way and I can correct things that are wrong in me, I will do so. Have faith in people. Don't just throw them under the bus because they don't see shit your way. So I apologize for that rant. It got a little too real, but I needed to get that shit off my chest. Anyway. Oh God. I don't even know what the hell I'm doing anymore with all these things. Just screaming, shouting, trying to make people laugh. I think I'm losing the purpose of the podcast because I thought that I was doing this just for shits and giggles and laughs. And then I'm turning into this psychotic son of a bitch. I don't even understand it anymore. Anyway, if you enjoy this type of content, first, you're fucking weird. And you're my type of person, so thank you. Because I'm weird. I'm Captain Weird. Super mega power weird. If you like that, you can check our content on our YouTube channel. You can check our TeePublic store as well. We have a lot of different designs, not just t-shirts, but we also have stuff like phone cases, laptop cases, magnets, stickers, whatnot. You can check it all there. And also you can follow us on social media, on Instagram and on Twitter. The links regarding all of that information will be in the description of the podcast. So this is Ariel Duran from the Husky Bible saying take care, have a great weekend, and have a great rest of the weekend. We'll catch each other next week. Bye.